Hello everyone and welcome back to English with Lucy. Today we're going to be talking about more weird British things. In particular, we are going to talk about our strange homes. Most people who travel to the UK are surprised by some of the things that they find in our homes and in our hotels. We've got really strange plugs. Why do our plugs look like that? I'll explain it. Why do we have carpet in our bathrooms? And why do we have separate hot and cold taps so that you can either freeze your face or burn your face? There is no in between. The fun part of this video is finding out whether you relate to any of these, whether it's the same in your country or completely different, or maybe you're British and it's completely different for you as well. Let me know in the comment section. To help the learners of English that are watching this lesson, I have made it a listening and vocabulary lesson. Whenever I say an interesting word or phrase, it will appear on screen with the definition. I have also created a free PDF with further examples. It's got every word and phrase used in this lesson, plus much more. If you'd like to download that, you can click on the link in the description box and it will be sent directly to your inbox. Let's get started with the lesson. Okay, the first weird thing about British homes. Now, not all British homes, in fact, not so many anymore, have this. But in my house, we do have this. It wasn't my choice, but it is here. It is carpet in the bathroom. Now, why, oh why would anyone put carpet in the bathroom? A couple of reasons. Here in the UK, it gets very cold and it's very expensive to heat our homes. Carpeted areas retain more heat. It also feels nice under our feet. It's something that you see in houses that haven't been renovated in a while or old-fashioned houses. It is incredibly unhygienic. I think I have mentioned this before, but I have had a situation where a toilet overflowed in a carpeted bathroom and it was awful. It was absolutely horrendous. Let's move on to this next one then. It is separate hot and cold taps, or faucets, as you may call them in other countries. Now, more modern houses have mixer taps. We have one bathroom up here with a mixer tap and one bathroom with the separate hot and cold tap. Why are they different? Well, one bathroom was renovated more recently. Whenever any of my friends come over from abroad and they see these separate taps, they are flabbergasted. You can either burn your hands or freeze your hands. And when you wash your face, you have to splash water in equal measures to not burn or freeze. The answer is that you can fill the sink with water and then splash warm water on your face, but it's not practical. There is a solid reason behind this though. In the old days, cold water came from a mains supply and it was safe for drinking, but hot water was stored in our attic, in our loft. The hot water was not safe for drinking and they didn't want them to mix at all. Who knows how long that water had been sitting in that tank. Lots of houses now still do have those tanks in the attic. I think where I grew up, at my parents' house, we had a tank in the attic and one day they found a dead bird in it. So that's why a lot of people don't mix their hot and cold taps. It's also something that's quite traditional to have the nice separate taps. For me, it's just too impractical. Number 3 is chain pull toilet flushes. How fancy are these? I went to a very old school and I remember we had these chain pull original toilets. Well, I'm not sure if they're original, but they were very old. Now you still do see them, modern ones, but it's kind of a mock old-fashioned style. Originally, toilets had to have their tanks mounted up high to allow for gravity to push all the water through. You would pull the chain so you didn't have to stand up whilst doing your business. Number 4 is push button toilet flushes. I hate these so much because whenever I have a long thumbnail, I always catch it on the edge. Lots of other countries have these, but it is something that my foreign friends have remarked on when they come over. They are designed to allow you to control how much water is used when you flush. So there's a small button and a big one. The big one is for big business, the small one is for small business. They're designed to save water, but they are horrible for anyone with long nails. Number 5, let's talk about the plugs, finally. In the UK, we have 3-pronged plugs, and arguably, they are some of the safest plugs around. They might look inefficient. You can't switch. There's only one way you can put them in. I know with the 2 prongs, you can do it either way, but these are all about safety. In a plug socket with 2 holes, a child could stick a fork in or something metal and they could get electrocuted. With these plugs, it's nearly impossible to get electrocuted. This is a grounding prong and it's longer, slightly longer than the other prongs. When you push this into one of our sockets, it lifts some flaps that are covering these 2 prongs that hold the current. This grounding prong unlocks the socket, basically. Another thing that people notice is that most of our wall sockets have switches, on and off switches. It's red when it's on and it's white when it's off. The reason for this is quite obvious. It allows you to switch off an appliance without actually having to unplug it. One annoying thing about those sockets though is that because they've got a flat back, they are so painful if you tread on them. And I know with the other 2-pronged ones, the likelihood of you treading one, isn't as high. Perhaps the thought behind this is because they are so painful when you tread on them, they don't want people leaving them on the floor upturned, so they'd prefer them to stay in and to be switched on and off at the plug. Number 7, something that people, especially people from America, seem to notice is that we often have our washing machines in our kitchens. And this is because we have much less space in our houses. Our houses tend to be a lot smaller than the houses in America. When I went to the US for the first time, I was blown away by how big everything was. The kitchen islands were so big, you'd have to walk all the way around to pick up something you left on the other side. Especially in cities, in townhouses, we don't have that much space. So we don't waste space on a utility room, which is my dream. I actually finally have a utility room for the first time ever here in this house, and it is glorious. But before that, I washed all of my clothes in my kitchen, and it was very noisy when you were trying to relax, trying to cook, and you had your washing machine and your dryer going around. And that's another thing. We have washer dryers, which are washing machines that also dry our clothes. But I have never had one that dries properly. It doesn't seem to do that good a job. So now I have a separate washing machine and tumble dryer, although I just tend to hang out my washing on a washing line. Number 8, sometimes we have light pull cords in our bathrooms. So if you go into a disabled toilet, you might see a red cord that they can pull to call for help. We actually have these as light switches in our bathrooms, and sometimes if you have one in your bathroom and you become so used to pulling it to switch on the light, if you ever use a disabled toilet, which unless you need to, you shouldn't, it's very easy to accidentally pull the help cord. So in the UK, we have quite strict rules on electrics in our bathrooms. People want to reduce contact with live electrical parts as much as possible. So you will often find the light switch on the outside of the bathroom, not inside. But if that isn't available, if you don't want a light switch outside of your bathroom, then you can have a cord to pull. Ding ding. Yeah, we had that as children in all of our bathrooms. My mum has cords everywhere. She's a very safe woman. I have seen bathrooms in the UK with the light switches inside. It might be to do with distance from the shower or bath. Let me know if you are British. Tell me about the light switch in your bathroom. I can't believe I'm asking you that, but I'm genuinely interested. Number 9 is we don't tend to have plug sockets in our bathroom, and if we do, they are often in our lights. And I'll tell you about that. I've actually got them here in this house as well. I think it's another more old-fashioned thing. Plug sockets are not allowed in UK bathrooms unless they can be fitted at least 3 meters from a shower or a bath. To overcome this, sometimes lights would be fitted above the mirror with a plug socket for shaving. You are allowed shaving sockets, I think. I've seen those in bathrooms, but I've never ever seen a 3-prong socket in a bathroom in the UK. Have you? I think it's illegal. We've got some really strict laws here. Number 10, we don't have air conditioning. We tend not to have any air conditioning. Some people might have it. You do find it in offices and libraries and places of work, but in our homes, we don't have it because it just doesn't really get that hot here. We normally have a couple of unbearable weeks in the summer, and then it's just back to normality. Our houses are built and designed to retain as much heat as they possibly can for the winter. We have to heat our homes a lot, so it's very inefficient to have all the heat escaping. In those hot summer weeks, I don't say summer months, summer weeks, the houses can get unbearable. In fact, if you look at any video that I've posted in July or August, chances are I've got a little sweat moustache and potentially some sweat patches as well because my studio gets so hot. But we don't have any air conditioning, so there is nothing I can do about it. We do tend to use fans in the summer. I've got one little bonus one as well. We don't have mosquito screens on our windows. I know that this is a very common thing to have in countries where mosquitoes are a big problem. But mosquitoes, I mean, we do have them, but it's not as severe as some of the more humid climates. When I go abroad to a tropical country, I get eaten alive. I don't know what it is. I think they can smell I'm new and inexperienced and they just ravage me. We do get the odd mosquito, but it's not a huge problem. So at least we've got that going for us. Right, that is it for today's lesson. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned something. Don't forget to download the PDF. It's got all of the key phrases and vocabulary words that I've used in this lesson, along with their definitions and their examples. Also got a quiz that you can use to test your understanding of these new words and phrases. If you'd like to download that, click on the link in the description box. You sign up using your name and your email address, and I send the PDF directly to your inbox. And because you've signed up to my mailing list, you then get my PDFs every week, automatically and conveniently. Let me know how it goes. If you'd like to improve your vocabulary skills and your listening skills even further, then I have my vlogging channel where I document my life here on a farm in the English countryside, and all of the vlogs are fully subtitled. So you can replay, you can pick up new vocabulary words, you can try listening without the subtitles, and then once again with the subtitles to see how much you picked up on. Don't forget to connect with me on my social media. I've got my Instagram @Lucy and my website englishwithlucy.co.uk, where I have a fantastic free pronunciation tool. You can click on the phonemes and you can hear me pronounce them. E, no, air. I will see you soon for another lesson. Mwah. Why do our chargers, our socket creates a huge problem? It's got a quiz and it's got all of the vocabulary words. It's got a quiz and I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm literally at the very end here. Come on, Lucy. Don't forget to download the quiz.